Hi again, and welcome to Rook's Recipes. As you can see, this episode is going to be all about the beef. We have 3 beautiful ribeyes that I'm going to cook in 3 different ways. So basically, this is going to be an episode where I show you 3 different ways to perfectly, hopefully, cook a ribeye steak or any cut that you like. Renee and I have grown to prefer ribeyes over all other cuts, but actually we tend to buy whatever's on sale. I went to 3 grocery stores today to find the ribeyes that were on sale. So, this is not about the preparation. These 3 steaks have been salted and peppered, both sides. They're going to be prepared with exactly the same, with one minor exception, and that is one of these steaks is going to be done in a sous vide bath, the sous vide cooking method, as the first stage, and the second stage will be on the grill. That one I'm going to put a little bit of butter into the bag with the steak. And we need to get that one in right away because that one's going to take the longest to cook. So let's get going.
Oh. Hey, Sherlock.
What does Sherlock think?
Did you hear that? 3 steaks. One for me, one for Dan, and one for you.
And one for you.
This is going to be a good episode.
Yes, yes. He didn't really like the scallops in the last episode, but methinks he's going to really enjoy these ribeyes.
He didn't like the fried tomatoes.
He didn't like the fried tomatoes either. Yeah, he's been waiting for a kind of Sherlock-focused episode, and this is it.
Indeed.
So the sous vide cooking method, sous vide is a French, 2 French words that mean water bath. But the sous vide method is to take your protein and put it into a vacuum sealed bag. So we like to use Ziploc bags, and I'm just going to put a little bit of butter in here. I should have had this ready, but I didn't. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter in here. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to do more things with the sous vide method.
What's that, about a tablespoon?
That's about a tablespoon of butter, and that's plenty. You can season the meat more, but this is all about just introducing you to the method. I'll do more shows on different ways, different types of meat to sous vide and how to do it. I've done sous vides that are 40 hours, believe it or not. Big, tough cuts of meat that turn into buttery, beautiful things after a long sous vide soak. The other thing about sous vide is that the water, you put the water at the temperature of the meat that you want the meat to come out at. So if you like your steaks medium rare, that might mean 133 degrees. You put the water at 133 degrees, and the steak cooks to exactly 133 degrees throughout. Okay? Now, that means you can't overcook it, and it means you're not worried about running back and forth and timing things like we will with our other 2 steaks. This steak's going to cook an hour in the sous vide, and then we're going to sear it and finish it on the grill just to put some really nice color and char marks and flavor onto it. So let's get it into the sous vide. We're just using a soup pot. Put it down in there with as I said, it's been salted. And we put it down in there and we just poke it down until the air comes out of it, right? As I get it down there in there, all the air, because of the water pressure, the air is escaping, and then I'm just going to seal it like that, and that's that. I'm going to put a little clamp on that. We have a clamp somewhere. So that it doesn't fall. Don't fall! See, like this. So that'll keep it from falling down, the bag from falling down in there. Now, I want to make the point. No water will get into that bag. We are not boiling the steak in water. Do not be deceived.
Like Chef Ray.
Like Chef Ray thought I don't boil steaks. It's not boiling a steak. It's cooking the steak to the perfect temperature, edge to edge throughout, and then finishing it up on something very hot. It could be cast iron, it could be a grill. We're gonna finish it on a grill. So while we're in the kitchen, I'm just gonna mention to you one of the other methods, okay? We have an oven that's been heating to 500 degrees. And in that oven is a cast iron skillet, which is also at 500 degrees. You can see it's smoking, okay? The second method we're gonna use is to cook one of the steaks on that cast iron at that temperature for exactly 5 minutes on each side. And it's gonna come out perfect. So that's perfect steak 1, this is perfect steak 2. And the third method is we're just gonna do a traditional grilling of the steak on high heat. Aren't you excited? Excuse me. Okay, hey, so the sous vide is ready. It's been...
No, so.
No, so. Okay, the sous vide is ready, and I want to just show you how it looks when you take it out. I can validate for you that there is no water in there. It's just the butter, then the salt, and the pepper. So I'm going to turn this off, which is unplug, and I'm going to just show you what it looks like, okay? It's kind of interesting. This is a steak that is cooked. It's cooked perfectly, but it is not attractive, okay? Right? Now, I'm not going to cut it for you, but I promise you when I cut into that, it would just be beautifully medium rare.
It does look like a boiled steak.
It does look like a boiled steak, but as you can see, there's no water in this. It's just butter and the meat juice and the salt and pepper. So that's what we're gonna put on the grill just to get the grill marks on it and to char it a little bit.
And to get that fat blackened.
And to blacken that fat. So this is, did we say this was steak number 1? No. I think so.
Did we order them? I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe. So this is the sous vide steak, and I just wanted to show you how it comes out. It's just, it's it's perfectly done, but it's not beautiful. We're gonna make it beautiful, and it's gonna be awesome. Okay? Okay. Hello. This is pay no attention to this. This is not part of the show. This is mushrooms, onions, and bacon. Now, this is the hot oven, 500 degrees, cast iron. The cast iron's been in there the whole time, so it's been in there for an hour. You don't have to leave it in there for an hour, but you do need to let the cast iron heat up for at least 30 minutes, okay? At 500 degrees. Now, here's what's gonna happen. Pull this open, grab the handle, be careful not to burn myself, and I'm just gonna put that right like there. Boom. Back in there. It's gonna sizzle and smoke, and I'm gonna turn this thing on to start. Timer, start. Okay, so 5 minutes on a side. I'm gonna trust that time. I do wanna say something about the thickness of the steak. If you buy a steak that's that thick, don't cook it for 5 minutes on a side. The cooking time depends significantly on the thickness of the steak. The steaks that we're cooking here are more like that. So that is about 1.25 inches. It's well more than 1 inch. It's not quite to 1.5 inches, but they are at least 1.25 inches. So if you're buying a steak, I recommend 1.25 to 1.5 inches, and then the 5-minute rule will work very well for you. Okay? So we're gonna go put the other steak, the steak that we're gonna grill, we're gonna put that out there now and set the timer for 5 minutes outside, okay? We've been preheating this grill, so it's mega hot. I'm gonna spray a little of this on, which is maybe not necessary, a little cooking spray. It's gonna maybe, I don't know. Everything's good. And now we're gonna put this on, this beautiful steak on here. Boom, okay? Oh, very nice, very beautiful. And my timer. Okay, I'll just do this. Boom, timer. Stop, reset. Timer. Okay, so we're at 2 seconds. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna do this for about, again, 5 minutes on a side, and the same thing with the one inside. Now, the sous vide one, as we said, it's cooked at 133 degrees all the way through. We are going to char it for about, I would say, 2 minutes per side. And what that'll do is it'll put a nice brown char on both sides. It'll cook a little bit of the steak, but the rest of the middle of the steak will stay at 133. It'll be fantastic. So when this steak has been on for about 6 minutes or so, let's say as soon as I turn this steak, I'll put the sous vide steak on, and I'll do it 2 minutes aside. And I'll keep it at the very highest setting to make it perfect, okay? And that's that. That's the sous vide steak. It's waiting in the wings.
The gray one.
It's waiting in the wings. The gray lady. So that is the timer. 5 minutes. Turn it off. Open this up. You can see. Oh, we need a fan. I don't know if we need a fan. We got a fan. This
There's no
is
smoke alarm
super
anymore,
hot.
so.
And then my. Okay, so all we're gonna do is just turn this over. Boom, boom. It is attached to the cast. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's it. It's as simple as that. Okay. Now we're going to set this timer. I'm gonna say 4. Oh. I know I said 5 minutes aside, but I'm thinking 4. I'm just feeling 4, okay? Something's not right?
All right, there we go.
Okay. So we're taking out the cast iron steak. Just kind of think it's ready. Oh. Okay, so now the cast iron's extremely hot, so we have to get it off of the cast iron. Otherwise, it will cook all the way through and be ruined, okay? So we'll use this dude. We're gonna put all 3 steaks on this cutting board, okay? So we'll just let that cool. We can turn the oven off. That's the timer, so it's actually perfect timing. Okay, so now we need to go get the other steak off the grill. Okay, so the steak that's outside on the grill flamed up, and as we were tending to the steak inside, this is fine. It flamed up, and so the steak has been charred a little bit. We turned it over a little ahead of time, but and we'll probably take it off a little bit ahead of time too. But it's doing great. Okay. Putting our sous vide steak on, right? Boom. 2 minutes aside. Again, that is fully cooked. You could eat it, and it would be delicious. But we're going to put that char on it, and we're going to cook it on, for 2 minutes each side at the most. Okay. I got ahead of myself. I just flipped the sous vide steak. Look how the colors have, come together on that. And then this is the other one. I think we're ready to take that one off, aren't we? It's been 8 minutes, so we're going to take this one off and put it right there, okay? So here's what we have. We've got the cast iron. We've got the traditional grill, and we're going to put the sous vide right here. It's going to be about 2 minutes until we're ready to cut the steaks and see what we've accomplished. Okay, so this is the sous vide steak. All we're trying to do is brown the outside. Look, beautiful color marks. and it's ready to go. That's what we're doing. Okay, so this is number 3. So once again, this is the cast iron in the oven at 500 degrees. This is the regular grill for 5 minutes on each side. Maybe went 5 and 4. And that is the sous vide, okay? So we're gonna let them rest for about 5 minutes, just about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna cut them. I'm actually gonna do the following, okay? I'm gonna put a little butter pat on each of them, but that's optional. Okay, here we go. So these steaks have been resting for about 5 minutes, which is highly recommended. This is the steak that was cooked in the oven at 500 degrees on a cast iron skillet, 5 minutes each side. This is the steak that was cooked on the grill at very high heat for about 5 minutes on one side and maybe 4 on the other. And this is the sous vide steak that was cooked at 133 degrees for an hour and then seared on high heat on the grill. So let's see what we've got. Number 1. I would call that medium. This is the one that was on the cast iron skillet. It's pink, it's medium, it looks lovely and juicy, but it is medium, it's not medium rare, okay? This is the one that was cooked on the grill. I'm gonna cut this piece right here. That's a little bit redder, Probably
I'll take that one.
most most close to medium rare or even rare. Okay, and then finally the sous vide one, which some people don't like to quote unquote boil steaks, but let's see what we got. Wow, very pink, very pink. So you've got the char and the grill marks on the outside, but you've got very pink. And also, you haven't lost a lot of the juices to the grill. So some people like the sous vide because in the water bath, the juices stay inside the bag. So let's taste these, okay? Let's see what Sherlock. I think Sherlock's going to like this guy right here. See that? That's not medium rare, but Sherlock doesn't really care about that. That's got a little bit of meat. It's got a little bit of fat.
Is it hot?
No.
All right.
What do you think of that, buddy? Do you approve?
He wants to try the other two.
I think he approves. All right, let's try this one. Okay, this is the one that was on the grill. 5 minutes aside. Oh, see how it's got a little bit of pink right there? Oh, that's pretty good.
Make sure it's not too hot.
Oh, it's good. All right, try that, buddy. What do you think of that? Oh, he's like, more episodes, more steak episodes, please. More steak episodes, please.
All right, try the sous vide.
Okay, so here's the sous vide. Just try a little bit down here.
Oh, he's licking the counter.
He's loving it. I'm loving it. What do you think of that? Wow. We won.
What do you vote for?
He wants more fried tomatoes.
I don't think so.
So here's my bottom line, right? I would say 2 of these 3 steaks were done very, nicely medium rare. This one that was in the cast iron skillet, and I will tell you, I would say you can probably see that this steak is not as thick as, for example, this one. That's easy to see.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think I cooked this one that was on the cast iron skillet at 500 degrees a little too long. That's easily remedied, right? Just if you have a steak that's less than an inch thick, 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. And then when you take it out after 3.5 minutes on a side, let it rest and cut it open. You're gonna love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We are about to eat many pounds of steak. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.